Hey guys, it's Sharani and welcome to our first live for this month. It is, what is the date today? It is Wednesday, June 13th, and today I'm coming to you live here from my office. I was just trying to get my tripod situated, and here we are. So situated, and as I mentioned, the first live I did a couple of weeks ago, these lives are really an opportunity for us to talk a little bit about, relationships. And the first one we talked about mothering yourself. So if you want to see that, go find the live stream from May 23rd of this year. And then today I actually want to come to you and share with you a little bit more about if your relationships aren't feeling super fulfilling or desirable or are leaving you less than pleased. I wanted to offer a perspective. Hi, as you're hopping on, be sure to say hello if you want to be greeted and welcomed. And yeah, so that way I can greet you. So yeah, like I was saying, today I want to speak a little bit about our relationships and if we're feeling less than pleased in them, what that really might mean about us. Okay, so as last time, I wanted my goal for these lives is about 15, no more than about 18 to 20 minutes. And so yeah, I'm just going to dive right in. A couple weeks ago, I had written a blog post, and it really is a topic, this topic actually, that informs a lot of my work and a lot of what I do. So what I had done was written a blog about how our relationships are mirrors for us. So if you've ever had that experience where you're feeling like no matter what you do in a relationship, it's still not enough, or no matter how hard you work, your partner still isn't as connected with you, or you're just not feeling the support that you need and want from your partner, or this could even be in your friendships. Maybe it starts to feel like your friendships aren't really as fulfilling. Or earlier today, I actually had a question, and I'll be answering that question live on today's live stream. Is maybe it could even be with your children, like the relationship, if it feels strained, or if it feels like it's draining you, or if there's tension or any of that. Like, this video is going to help offer some perspective on what might be happening and what might be going on. So I'm so glad you're here, and we're just gonna, like I said, dive right in. And I have a tendency to go really, really fast because I really love talking about this. So I'm going to try to slow myself down so that I can really be more clear in how I'm speaking when I'm to what I'm about to speak to. So our relationships really are an opportunity for us to learn and grow. And when I say learn and grow, what I really mean is our relationships, especially our primary intimate relationships. So those relationships that are closest to us are your parents, our children, our intimate romantic partners. Most of the time, those are the relationships where most of our challenges, our lessons, our struggles, our healing, and our growth lies. So if you're finding yourself in relationships with people, especially your intimate, close ones, like I said, those parents, children, partner, when you're finding yourself having difficulty with them, really what they're doing is they're reflecting to you how you really feel about yourself. And I'm going to just pause for a second there, because I feel like that's actually a really hard piece of news to sit with. It can definitely be a lot when everything going on out there seems to look like it's not supportive or not connected or unloving or unkind. It can be hard to sit with and hear, oh, wait a minute, they might actually be showing me something about myself. So there's this saying that I'm familiar with, and it says, if you spot it, you got it. So when you see in someone else that they're being judgmental or unsupportive or unloving, really it's important to acknowledge that you might also have those certain characteristics and qualities within yourself. And so that's what they're showing you. Like, that's that mirror they're putting up for you so that you can see your reflection back at you. So if you're feeling like your partner is being unloving and unsupportive, and really what he's showing you is how you're not quite being unloving or unsupportive. Like I mentioned, these are some hard truths to sit with. And hi, Mia. Thanks for joining us. So, hi, Gina. Thanks for watching. Wow, it seems like things are coming in now. So, these are really hard truths for us to sit with because it actually takes a lot of courage to be able to sit in this space of radical honesty and look at your part and your participation in the things that happen in your relationships. So, when I say if you're feeling like your partner is being unsupportive, really your partner is showing you where you might be unsupportive or showing you your own qualities of being unsupported. And so at that point, it's important to take a pause and sit still and consider, okay, where might I be being unsupportive, or where might I be not being loving? And so is it in my relationship with my partner? Like if I'm feeling like my partner's being unsupportive, well, it's important for me to take a moment to pause and say, well, how am I showing up for my partner? Am I being supportive to my partner? And if we take that one level deeper, we can even say, and how am I showing up for myself? Am I being supportive to myself? And that's, I think, what one of the most important things is, because we have so many relationships in our lives, and yet the most important one is the one that we have with ourselves. So if your relationship with yourself isn't right, then every relationship in your life is going to feel not quite so right. And that's why, I talk about our relationships being mirrors. And if there's any questions, please pop them in. I know we've got some live viewers now, and I'm excited for that. So if you've got questions, please type them in. I'm happy to answer them. And so yeah, that's really what it comes down to, is taking a look at and evaluating. If I believe someone else is acting a certain way, what are they showing me about myself? What are they showing me about how I'm showing up in this relationship, either with the other person or with myself? And not only that, we can take it even further to say, well, if my relationships are constantly leading me to feel like crap, like if I'm feeling unfulfilled in them, or, because I'm not feeling unsupported, I'm feeling unworthy, and it's really affecting my self-esteem, well, guess what? There's another layer and another level of that reflection for you, because now we're kind of drilling it down further and getting to, well, wow, in what ways do I feel like I'm unworthy of love and support and acceptance and belonging, and therefore the people in my life are showing me that, to basically reiterate and reinforce my story that I'm not really worthy or lovable or valuable, or worthy of love and belonging. So yeah, I want to just take a breath and pause right there, because I know that that's a lot of information I've just shared with you in like the last 10 minutes or so. And it can be a lot to kind of sit with and digest. So, I want to say, and it's really important for me to say actually, that in no way am I trying to blame you as the person who's experiencing this experience. I think my training as a social worker has made me very sensitive about victim blaming. And so in no way am I blaming you or saying you're at fault for this. It's just a gentle invitation on reflecting back to you where you might be playing into victim consciousness. And when I say victim consciousness, what I mean is this energy or this headspace of being like, in a space where things are constantly happening to you. And when things, thank you, Gina. Yes, and I'm definitely going to talk about it in our relationships with children. There was a question that came in this morning, and I'm definitely going to talk about how it shows up in our relationships with our children too. And if you've got any insights, definitely pop those in. Thank you, Gina. And so, yeah, when it comes to, oh man, now I lost my train of thought. That happens to me on these lives sometimes. So what happens is it's just this energy of, okay, where am I showing up from a disempowered place? Because when we're in victim consciousness, we're in a disempowered space. And so it's not to say that, oh, this is your fault and you suck and that's why this is happening to you. It's really an opportunity for you to take a step back and say, my relationships are reflecting back to me that I'm feeling unsupported or unloved or unworthy of love and support. And so how might I be operating from my own stories of my own, powerlessness, really? And it's so that's that choice point that you get to be able to make a shift and then step into your empowered self. Because a lot of times when we're in that victim consciousness energy where life is happening to us and the world is happening to us, we're not in a very empowered state. We're very disempowered and it feels like nothing can help. And so that choice point comes when we can see and recognize, oh, there's this pattern here and this is what my relationships are showing me. And so now I have a choice. I have a choice to move forward and to do something a little bit differently. I can start to show up more loving and supportive in my relationship with myself. I can show up as more loving and supportive with my partner, and what that might look like is, if I'm feeling like my partner's not being very supportive to me, then I can do the things that I need to do to support myself, like reach out to a friend or a mentor or someone who really loves me and holds space for me. Sometimes that could be even a therapist or a coach, a professional that you have on board. And so it's really about, some of that. Or maybe it's about, I need to step away from the situation and I need to go for a walk. I need to even be in nature and hear the birds. Or maybe it's even simpler. Maybe it's I just need to go to the bathroom and take a few deep breaths so that I can come back to my center and come back into supporting myself. And so that's really how, when our relationships are difficult or strained, what they really might be telling us. They might be invitations for us to kind of step up our game and start showing up for ourselves. And Gina, I want to talk about how this is so true in our relationships with children too, because earlier today I had someone ask a question about, well, what about strained mother-daughter relationships? And actually that's a lot of what I work with here at the Center for Soulful Relationships. Some of you may have heard the term mother wound, and not everyone, has that, and that's a topic for a whole other live. So without getting too carried away, I just want to, say that, and also to be able to, Gina, I love that. Reflecting on my self-care and self-love helps me parent better and be more present with my partner. Absolutely. And Gina, no worries. I'm always getting caught off anyway. My trains of thoughts just kind of go in different places. And so, yeah, what came up was that, what are some resources? What are some ways to deal with difficult and strained relationships? And this one is kind of a little, truth bomb, blow your mind open thought that I'm going to leave you with. And it's, that our children actually choose us. And I'm saying that from a bigger picture spiritual perspective. I believe that we operate in a world where there are agreements and contracts between people and between souls. And our children choose us. They choose us to help us learn what we need to learn for ourselves, and they choose us so that they can get whatever lessons and experiences that they need to have in this life as well. And basically that's what soul agreements and soul contracts are. They're the opportunities that we have to connect with the people that we made agreements with before we incarnated here on this earth. And when we can also have that perspective, it also helps to soften that a little bit as well. So if you're having difficult and strained relationships with your children, then they're also here helping you to learn and reflect on, okay, well, what am I not giving to myself? Or what am I withholding from myself? Or what am I withholding from others? And what I've come to find more often than not is the thing that we are usually withholding from ourselves and from others is love. Because for some of us, love can feel like a really big, scary thing. And I am a student of A Course in Miracles, and so I do believe that, there's only kind of two choices, and those two choices, or there's only kind of two feelings and I'm not totally like saying it right now, and that's okay. I'm human. But there's only fear and love. And of fear and love, only one of them is real. And so when your relationships are showing up as difficult and strained and leaving you less than pleased, it's important to take a step back and evaluate, where am I not showing up with love for myself and for those around me? So I think this is feeling complete. If there's any other questions, please feel free to pop them in. Gina, thank you so much for your reflections and for being with us live. And for those of you who are watching the live stream, feel free to leave some comments, and over the next 24 hours, I'll pop in and answer any of them that I can answer on that live. So if there's nothing else coming in, I'm just really grateful that you were here. If you like this video, please share it with others and help us spread that message of love, because that really is my mission, and what I'm here to do is to help us awaken to that love that lives within us, and thereby we help to heal the world and create a more loving and supportive and kind and nurturing world for ourselves and everyone in it. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for the hearts, and I will catch you in 2 weeks. So these lives are going to be held the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays of the month. I think that 12:30 Pacific time feels good for my schedule. Last time I tried with 12:15. This time I'm trying with 12:30, and I think 12:30 works for me. However, I will come back, just keep an eye on it for the post, and it will confirm what time. It will be somewhere within the 12:15 or 12:30 range anyways, though. So thank you so much for being here. If you've got any questions, please feel free to pop them in, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Take good care. Bye.